Winning a championship is about more than just skill. It requires determination, intimidation, and domination. You must push yourself past your limits, embracing the grind of the waiver wire and refusing to settle for anything less than embarrassing your friends. You have to trust the process, stay disciplined even when you're fucking player 4 putts, and support your team via encouraging Instagram DMs. Every setback is a lesson, every sacrifice an investment in success. For champions, don't quit until they make Andrew look bad, relenting only when they know they gave everything to crush his little dreams. This is Fantasy Disc Golf League. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to FDGL 2025. I am your host and current 2-time reigning champion, Big Brew Dog. As you know, we just had our draft on Skip Ace and we've got some solid teams. Let's meet our competitors. All right, picking at the 101, we had James Old, and surprise, surprise, he took Gannon Buhr. He's the best player in the world, and it was a perfect pick. His second pick, I don't like nearly as much because a run of FPO players had already happened, and so I think he was probably better off just taking 2 MPO players, solidifying his first 3 positions, and rolling the dice on potentially getting some decent, solid FPO players in rounds 4 and 5. He does take the GOAT, Paul Macbeth. Maybe Macbeth will return to being McBeast this year after an uncharacteristically bad season, but I think his best playing days are behind him. Anakin Sten, I feel, is a weak 4th round pick. I do want to give him credit for snagging Mason Ford in the 5th round, but to be honest, the bench of this team leaves a lot to be desired. With the number 2 overall pick, we had Jonathan, and again, surprise, surprise, he took Kristen Lott. He followed that up with a really nice 2nd round pick in Niklas Antila, and while I don't blame him for taking James Proctor or Paige Pierce with his 3rd and 4th picks, I don't think they were optimal. I think his 5th round Gavin Rathbun and 6th round Sullivan Tipton are pretty nice for their value, but again, rounds 7 through 12 that make up his bench, I feel, are pretty lackluster. With the 3rd pick, we have James Anderson, and he took Calvin Heinberg, which I was a little surprised by. Frankly, I would have taken Ricky Wysocki there, but then he followed it up with a nice 2nd round pick in Chris Dickerson. Hopefully he plays enough to justify the pick. Henna Blomroos in the 3rd round is interesting, and I think taking Cole Redallen in the 4th round could end up paying off for him. I do like his 5th round Valerie Mandahano pick, but the rest of this draft is pretty bad. Picking at the 104, we have Ryan Kraft, and he got an absolute gift, taking Ricky Wysocki with the 4th pick. He followed that up with a nice, if not slightly early pick on Ella Hansen in the 2nd round. I think she's good, but that's kind of expensive for my taste. He shot for the Stars in the 3rd round, taking Eagle McMahon, who I think is a high upside but low floor player, mostly because of his really up and down season last year coming off that injury. In the 4th round, he took Haley King, which I kind of like. I just don't know if she's going to play enough events. His 5th pick, Andrew Marweed, is all right. I just think there were better options on the board. I really like his acquisition of Braden Sides. I think that's solid. But again, his 7 through 12 picks are just kind of gross. Drafting 5th, we had Jake. And I think he made a statement by taking Anthony Barella. I probably would have taken Holland Handley in that spot, but I can't really blame him for getting this guy. I think taking Silva in round 2 is a little bit of a reach, but he turned around and had a really solid 3rd round pick in Aaron Gossage, who I consider to have leveled up this year. His 4th pick, an oldie but a goodie, Simon Lizotte, definitely has first place upside any given week with a pretty low floor. I kind of like his 5th round Heidi Leina pick. I'm just not sure if she's going to play enough. And then his next several MPO picks are kind of interesting. He kind of has a sneaky deep MPO lineup. Picking 6th in the 1st round was Andrew, and he got the gift of Holland Handley. I really like this pick. That's exactly what I would have done. In the 2nd, he turns around and takes Evelina Salonen, solidifying his FPO starters. I think that's as good of a 1-2 punch in FPO as there is in this league. His 3rd round pick was a really good value with Kyle Klein. I think Maddie O in the 4th round is all right. Luke Taylor in the 5th round should be really good. And then he's got some decent bench players as well. It's interesting that he took Taylor Chosek with his final pick. Although she's really new to the game, I think that's exactly the kind of pick you want to take with your last pick, shooting for upside with a young player who has a distance advantage on every player in the FPO field. Picking 7th was my team, Big Brew Dog. And the Brew Dog took Own the Dog Scoggins. She's extremely consistent. She's the best putter in FPO, and she'll get a lot of top 5. For my 2nd round pick, I took Missy Gannon. I think she's good for a lot of wins, and she's just a veteran player who's really solid. Because I solidified FPO first, I had to kind of take a hit with MPO, but I think I was able to get some good value here in the 3rd round with Joey Buckets. For my 4th round pick, I planted my flag. This is Evan Smith's season, baby. I expect him to take a really big step forward this season. I was pretty happy that Gavin Babcock fell to me in the 5th round, and then in the 6th round I closed out my starters with Bradley Williams. My 7 through 12 picks have some question marks, but I think I also have some sneaky starting upside. I'm not even sure if Joel Freeman's going to play this season, and Harry Chase is a rookie that I've heard some good things about. And then finally, picking in the 8th position, we have Eli. He started off his draft by double tapping the pair of Robinson brothers, which I think gave him a really good start in MPO. He followed that up with a very capable MPO 3 player in Adam Hammis, and then took his first FPO player with Rebecca Cox, who's a decent player, but it's kind of tough having her as your best FPO player. He followed that up with a cute boyfriend-girlfriend combo in the 5th and 6th rounds respectively, Robert Burridge and Emily Weatherman. I'm just really worried about how consistent his FPO is going to be. I don't love his bench. It's not very exciting, but it's not bad. There you have it, folks. That's all the picks. Let's see how it all stacks up in the power rankings after a quick break. Just kidding. There's no break. Here are the rankings, boys. Read them and weep.